Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to day number 2, SPL match number 2. It's going to be game number 2 of the last matchup of the day. It's going to be Enemy eSports up against Cognitive Gaming. Yep. Game 1 went solely into the hands of Cognitive Gaming, and Enemy eSports has to show exactly what they're capable of today by coming back in game number 2 in this best of 3 series. But we're talking about players, we're talking about skill, and we're talking about talent. Let's talk a little bit about the jungle in that last match.
Yeah, so last match, I mean, player of the game went elsewhere. My personal player of the game is the man on the left side of your screen, Mask.
That's Spider.
And Soulshiner also did a good job doing a very decent job on the side for Enemy eSports. But
13.5 KDA is hard to beat.
Mask really just, you know what really impressed me about Mask? He played for the team. I actually literally just tweeted this out. He played for the team. He did not chase a lot of these kills. He did enough damage to force whoever he was trying to force off of the objective or out of the team fight.
Right.
And then turned around and went right back into it. So very good job coming out from Mask to show that restraint rather than chase those kills.
Well, a lot of people around the world have been showing restraint as they've been waiting for that Xbox One Alpha code to hit. So let's go ahead and lift that from your burdened back. Let's bring up an Xbox Alpha code onto the screen. So congratulations to whoever happens to be typing as fast as humanly possible to be able to get this code attached to your account so you can play Xbox One Smite in your living room on your television. It's a lot of fun. People have been playing a lot of it at PAX. Of course, you're watching at PAX. Hopefully you are having a lot of fun up at those console sections and playing some Smite on Xbox. But we're getting to the next game shortly here, and the question is, how many fans do we have of Cognitive Gaming, and how many fans do we have of Enemy eSports, and who are they rooting for? Yeah,
I mean, then one way you can convey that is to find us on Twitter, twitter.com/SmitePro, or of course, as the youngins say, @SmitePro.
The youngins?
I mean, I'm like in my 20s, so that's me too. But you can also use hashtag SPL, #SPL, as my good friend Kimmy Schmidt would say, to go ahead and contact us and let us know who you're rooting for. We really want to hear you guys and what you're saying, and who knows, might even get retweeted if you're anxious enough. But enough of that. Let's get into our picks and bans for Game 2. Cognitive, of course, leads this series 1-0, and Enemy will look to stay and drag it out to a Game 3.
Well, at this point, Thor is off the table. Looking for more bans here from Enemy. Honestly, Serqet did a fantastic job last game, and realistically, Xbalanque wasn't the factor. It wasn't even the hunters at all. It was just that jungle presence and the supports that brought the initiation. So will they ban more jungles? I would imagine. Just kind of adjusting from last match. Athena's off the table. Batz is gone. So both bans from Cognitive Gaming is actually going to be jungle bans. And these are two jungle characters you do not want to give any gold to early. So removing that early factor. Double support bans from Enemy. And first pick goes to Cognitive Gaming. What will they select?
We'll take a look. It's very curious. Usually you
Could be Arachne.
Usually you see, like we said, the Xbalanque is a constant first pick. Thor is a constant first pick, as is Athena. But with most of those banned out, we're going to see the Geb picked up by Cognitive Gaming.
Well, honestly, it's interesting, right? Because Athena and Sylvanas are gone, and Geb was a big driving factor for Cognitive Gaming last game. They're going to lock this in. They're going to leave a couple things on the table. Looks like Enemy's going to pick up Batz this time and steal it away to see if they can put Meerkat into a different position this time around. Now, of course, this could be a Soulshiner jungle. With that Batz, it could be, something else. It could be going to the solo lane as well. We'll see what we decide to use that Batz for. Xbalanque locked in as well. Imagine this an instant Cupid pick because it seemed to work pretty well in the lane at least.
Interesting to see the Batz picked up so quick.
They don't like it. It's painful.
That's Serqet, still very, very, very strong.
As a third pick. Yeah. Or fourth pick. My gosh.
Serqet's still very, very strong. Going to be picked up on the side of Cognitive Gaming. Still have one pick left for them. And then Enemy will be able to respond before second bans come out. And Arachne is picked up. Mask did a good enough job with it. They're going to go ahead and keep it.
I love the Arachne solo counter pick to the kind of like assassin soul laners they pick up Batz, just because the boxing potential of Arachne with the heal, with the spires that slow, plus the ultimate, plus the stun. Arachne's so great at counter boxing other boxers. I love the pick here. We'll see if Cognitive Gaming, I imagine Meerkat's going to drive the solo lane up against the Batz, but it looks like they got baited out a little bit, or maybe Cognitive Gaming knew it all along. Bakasura being locked in. I like Arachne against Bakasura in the solo lane. They're going to pick it up here and see if they can use it. And again, they're going to see a lot more damage in the jungle. This also could be a Serqet solo, but I would imagine the Arachne would be the solo pick.
Yeah, the Arachne definitely more of the character that finds itself in the solo. In that sense, Serqet solo has happened, but it's happened on Cyclone Spin. So Cyclone Spin known for bringing things that don't belong in the soul lane into the soul lane. We'll see who enemy opts to pick up right here. Should be something in Takedy's neck of the woods, as he does not want to be an albatross around the neck of the team NME. We'll see how that works out. It is going to be an Agni, so a very powerful Agni pick, and looks like Cognitive will be up to their neck in fire.
Well, the flames are hot as they're bringing him to the table. A lot of mobility, plus, again, one of the best characters to fight from out of line of sight, over walls, those bombs. He can stun and initiate without even being seen, and that's kind of one of the powers of Agni. He puts both his heads together and comes up with a plan. Across the way, we've got Ram selected here up against Xbalanque, a matchup we don't really see all that much. And in fact, Xbalanque a little bit better at pushing the lane there, just because, with infinite mana, able to kind of keep himself sustained with that Bluestone Pendant. The splitting, branching blows helps push the lane back. But we'll see what Ram can do in this situation. Janus locked in as well for Cognitive Gaming. Going to get a lot of rotational power with that ultimate. The Kamehameha across the map gives them the ability to travel through space and time, quite literally.
Space and Tim.
And Space and Tim. And the last pick going to the amazing enemy team. They're going to be looking for something that brings them all together. Support is what they need. Ares is gone, Emir's gone, Sobek is available, and that's going to be their choice.
Sobek picked up. He is one of my favorite Guardians. He's got the pluck, charge prey, which is high risk, high reward. He really has to go into the enemy sort of territory to really pull it. If he misses, then it's problematic. If he hits it, it's very good. But he has, not only does he have the knock-up with his tailspin, but he also has a heal that is anti-heal.
Anti-heal.
It's not exactly going to be super effective against this particular lineup, but it is there. And then the ultimate is an AoE slow. So definitely cool stuff coming out right there.
A lot stronger than it used to be. You got a pretty significant buff going to Season 2. 35% slow is pretty significant. We're going to see him use that to full effect. Into the match we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2. Game number 1 went to Cognitive Gaming. Enemy eSports now has a chance to put their numbers on the books and hope to not get too owed as their first day of competition ensues. We're going to see if Cognitive Gaming can shut this game down early. They've got the lineup for it, but I think both teams have a pretty strong lineup going into the middle and late game.
Definitely a strong lineup coming out here from both teams as we wait 20 seconds until the 0 hits, and then we've got 10 more before the minions start. So for right now, Cognitive Gaming on the left-hand side of your screen in the blue. Enemy eSports, previously known as Busters, will be represented in red.
Not too many crazy starts here. We do see Bakasura going right into that Ickfall, it looks like, picking up that bow.
Yep.
Generally, we'll see heavy hammer starts from Bakasura just to put that pressure on early, but not going to be grabbing out that this time around. This is, I think, the first game that I've seen, at least in the SPL and some of the qualifiers, is Double Watcher's Gift being picked up by supporters. We don't see a single mark of the Vanguard this game, and quite unusual. Now, Watchers no longer provides that gold, but does have a good amount of regeneration on it and decent amount of HP, but 50 less HP than Mark of the Vanguard, and also does not provide that flat protection gain and flat damage reduction. So this is going to be more of a rotational experience game than it is going to be more aggressive.
It does provide MP5 as well, though, so that'll allow
well, no flat stats on it. It's got
100 health.
The healing if you are nearby minions. But remember, going to Season 2, the range with which you get an assist on a minion dying was reduced drastically, so it doesn't encourage roaming as much.
Yes, very, very true right there as we see the long lanes get set up. We take a look at the back camps as well. Early start into the back camp, so it's a little bit different than we're used to seeing. Two invades, or 2 hits onto the back camps right there. 1 invade, 1 natural. Usually the back camps are sitting for a little bit longer, but we've seen in the first game that both junglers from Cognitive and Enemy don't like the solo lane meta. They want to be somewhere else.
Hey, I mean, it seems to work if your solo lane can hold on to it. It's risky, obviously, if you get pushed back and start to fall behind the solo lane, but obviously if it works, it works, and why not mess with it? In the mid lane, it looks like Hurwin's kind of stacking up here. Are they going to try and steal a buff away? Nope, the back Harpies are available. Taki forced back by Spiders, and knowing that the jungler is still in the solo lane, a lot of opportunities are opened up here.
Opportunities arise. They're going to go ahead as we see. Those are...
Agni getting in a dangerous spot. Far too forward. They're baiting this one out. There goes the portal. He has to dash away.
That madness coming out from Serqet. Coper's Kiss, so potent. One of the better CCs in the game.
Absolutely. Forcing people to attack each other. Herwind teleporting out there with that portal. A lot of pressure coming out from Soulshiner in the jungle. Nice, slow. Some attacks coming out there, but of course did not crit after that first auto attack after an ability usage. Looking for the Path of Flame's going to find it. This should be a kill. Dashing away. Actually, I don't know if Flame Wave was available there.
No, definitely wasn't. Still on cooldown for at least a couple of seconds from the middle laner in red on enemy esports. Now, Herwind, we talked a lot about his Kugel Khan, but his Janus is also one of his better gods. We saw him pull it out during regionals, so good stuff coming out from the West Coast mid laner.
1-0, game number 2 for enemy. They got to make this work. A slight gold lead here for Cognitive Gaming, but nothing really too substantial just yet. We do see boots being picked up by Janus. Started with that Lost Artifact. It always tells you what the mage's intentions are based on what their starting item is, whether it's Lost Artifact or Tiny Trinket. Lost Artifact generally means they're going to rush into Rod or just pick up Corner's Pendant, or just hold on to it for a late game Rod. Walrus getting caught there, forced to dash away with that dash there, looking for Bronx into the portal. He goes, knocked up damage. There goes the hit. Serqet's going to punch once, and that should finish him off with poison. Indeed, it does.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Great play coming out from Janus, predicting where he was going to land, but they're not done yet. Great stun coming out from Takani's Agni, but it won't be enough, and Cognitive Gaming will survive, and they'll rotate. And 3 minutes and 20 seconds in, these mid-camps have been up for about half a minute, a little bit less than that, and they will be picked up by Cognitive. Now they're going to fight as the late rotation from enemy esports comes around. Serqet claims one. Rob from the backside providing artillery. Beautiful accuracy coming out from the Hunter, famous hate. And that'll allow his team to pick up those kills and move on to the right-hand side and claim these Harpies for themselves.
Bringing credence to the sponsor, Cognitive Gaming. A lot of strong play coming out here from Cog. And I love the Gale Bolt to prevent the dash from Sobek, catching him right as he started that animation, keeping him in place. And I love the fact that they not only, and I don't see enough teams doing this, and I'm a little bit upset to actually not see enough teams doing this, they forced a fight at 2:45, knowing the mid-camps were coming up with 3, getting a gank and spacing them out, guaranteeing both mid-camps go their way. Knowing a timer is about to finish and forcing a fight right before it and being successful at it means you get a free objective every time, and it worked so well for them.
Yeah, just great attention to the time, to the clock, understanding 3 minutes on the dot is when those mid camps will spawn. So as Drybear said, 2:55 is the intentional timing of that fight. They definitely did that on purpose. They're going to be looking to do that as well the next time around. Those will spawn probably, they went down around 25 to 30, so look out for halfway through the 6th minute of this battle to really see that happen for a second time.
Look out for Mask, too. He's on the hunt, looking for someone to grab up. Level 5 on Takani. He's pretty far behind this point in this stage, and he needs to be very careful on his positioning. Austin the Max has his Iqbal done, which means if he can keep up with his enemies, that's a scary item, especially up against a physical like Arachne or Serqet. The spiders are down. He's got that box. The stun's going to come out soon. There goes the hit, and look at the damage. This is what I'm talking about. The boxing potential of Arachne is unrivaled in a lot of situations. Plus, if the box order comes down, he can get out. A kill in the mid lane as Taki gets bursted down by the Kamehameha of Doom. Soulshiner just barely escaping against Devil Vortex, but Herwind bringing some name power to Janus.
Kamehameha.
Kamehameha.
Command and Conquer?
Kugel Khan.
Kugel Khan was last game.
Yeah. Kamehameha. Through Space and Tim.
4 kills, 0 reads the scoreboard right now as enemy esports tries to start something on this objective, but Cognitive Gaming is the one looking at the Gold Fury. And we'll take a look at Mask just zoning right there. So the reason he's there and not on the Gold Fury, just able to provide so much zoning, he wraps that enemy up, and there's just nothing Sobek can do about it. Early on, Sobek just not tanky enough. We take a look at the itemization as we see the graphs with that Gold Fury kill sort of shoot the team into the stratosphere. We take a look at the itemization on Sobek, just not tanky yet, Drybear, is he?
Well, no, it's hard, and I think really a lot of what it comes down to is just momentum here. You see that Walrus level 6, Takani just now hitting level 7, versus the level 9s and 8s you're seeing on Cognitive Gaming. So all this is just experience. The gold's making a difference, but really it's the 5,000 experience league that they're leaning on right now to be able to say, we have more levels than you. You're kind of a lot of trouble taking damage from the box round. Oh, he's not even turning around to fight. He could have hit him once, and actually the minions finished him off there. I think that was just more fear than anything else. If he turned around and hit him once, he would have died before he died.
Draw.
Kaboom.
That trade in the right-hand lane is going to happen more often than not, but right now is exactly what we're talking about. Almost halfway through, almost at the 7-minute mark, teams want to fight over these mid-camps. Enemy eSports remembers what happened last time, so they're observing the spacing, they're being very careful with how they want to handle this, and the right side will go to Cognitive virtually uncontested.
Uncontested, and the mid camps are stacking up here. Enemy is feeling the distance in golden experience, and it's not a good feeling, to be honest with you. Sobek right now,
To be honest with you?
really, he had to actually pass off on the tier 3 hog to finish off his reinforced greaves because he needed something there. But without the and honestly, you know, instead of going for shoes of focus, he's going to have that extra little bit of CCR, crowd control reduction, so he won't be CC'd as hard.
Exactly.
But again, he's missing out on the extra little bit of mana, and he's missing out on the CDR or cooldown reduction to be able to use more abilities more often, which is pretty big on Sobek. He's got long cooldowns.
He will be tankier, though, which was the problem plaguing him, being able to be bursted down by Serqet so quickly. So, interesting choice. When speaking to some of the other pros in North America, I know Jeff Hindlen's answer on Reinforced Greaves is it's situational. There really is no they're good, they're bad answer right there. It is very situational, and I guess this is a situation where they're good because Sobek getting bursted down just a little too much.
Yeah, he's in a tough spot, and I think there's a lot of it come down to levels as well. Still level 6 at 8 minutes into the game, and he's having trouble keeping up with the roaming potential that's coming out from Cognitive Gaming. Reinforced Hammer is done for Meerkat on Arachne. He ain't afraid of no Ghost. He ain't afraid of no Bakasura either. Now, granted, he's got true damage on the Butcher Blades, which helps him eat through that, but afterwards,
Great
still
block
needs
coming out by Sobek on the left-hand side of the lane. Takani trying to get a defensive stun, but he's already out of the problems. Xbalanque bursts that ultimate to try to provide some blindness for his team.
Nice
Beautiful hit by Heroine's Janus, and now they're surrounding enemy esports in this little jungle camp. One person will jump over. Great play. Being able to get out of there, no problem. The Arachne's giving chase. He will turn around, and Sobek with those reinforced greaves just tanky enough, not going to be able to be burst down by Serqet this time around.
You'll see a lot of what that Reinforced Hammer brings to Meerkat is HP. 350 HP on that item. And you see him kind of all amount of the tick marks he's got on that HP bar as he's just jumping around taking the blue buff. It makes him a lot more durable, and he stays in the team fight. In fact, Meerkat never left that team fight. A lot of pressure from Mask. He was in the front, keeping people out. It was a good rotation coming out from Cognitive Gaming, and enemy esports was caught off guard by a little bit too much. And the other thing, too, is when you're behind like this, enemy needs, I think, more wards. So you look at the ward graph to see where the wards are being placed. I don't think it's enough. Now, obviously, it's really hard, right? When you're behind, you don't really have the luxury of choosing what you spend your gold on every time because you don't have as much, but I feel like they need a lot more vision than they have right now.
Ive Province still available to be purchased. Could happen.
It is an item that can be bought with gold.
Ive Province,
that is true.
300 gold for an active that allows you to place wards whenever you want on a cooldown. So, might be the direction they want to go in. Most likely won't be. We haven't seen it purchased in over a season. A lot of aggression coming out on the right-hand side. Will this be another kill for Awesome to the Max's very good Bakasura play without that heavy hammer? Not able to keep him slowed. And looks like Meerkat is just going to zigzag around. Cue the Benny Hill music.
Blades.
There's the ultimate. Just waiting for it. Just waiting for it. Great.
So is Soul
Great
Shiner.
jukes coming out from Meerkat right there.
I feel like he got the stun and boxed a little bit more, but I think he's really worried about the turnaround potential that Bakasura has. Bakasura, no actives right now, but does have the attack speed boots, plus Iqbal. Big thing to think about, that Iqbal is taking power away from Arachne and giving it to Bakasura. That item, while it only has penetration and attack speed on it, the passive means that every time you hit someone up to 3 times, it takes 10, 20, 30 physical power from them and gives it to you, which is a great boxing item, and meant that Arachne was going to do a lot less damage in that
That Arachne just wouldn't be alive if there was a heavy hammer on that character, though.
That's true. Heavy
Very
hammer,
unfortunate. Is it a itemization mistake? I don't know. But
well,
that kill was definitely
it gets him
dropping
faster into his damage build, right? It means that mid-game is going to do more. He's not going to have his slow.
Great initiation on the left-hand side as teams start looking at the Gold Fury. Heroine picks up the early kill onto Sobek. Cognitive Gaming claims the Gold Fury, but they're not done just yet. Mask looking for a target that he can dash on. Great Cobra's Kiss into the Deathbane. That's the combo you want, but Famous Hate takes him out. No problem.
Ooh. Oh, hitting that last one there, but I don't have to take him down here. The fight continues in front of the gold 3. Jumping away, Soulshiner is going to be taken down by Meerkat's dot damage. Taki is trying to make the play. Agni, one of the greatest hold characters in the game with a reproducible ultimate and the high mobility plus AoE damage. Flame Wave coming through, getting really greedy. The knockup's going to be enough, and he's going to fall, walking right into the shockwave of the Earth. Geb is pretty good at stopping you from doing things that you want to do. And I think one of the most unfortunate things for enemy esports right now is the fact that the level 7 Sobek is just meat to Cognitive Gaming right now. You saw him kind of try to zone out the Gold Fury, but just one shotgun from the Janus. The Spirit Gun came out, and he was just done.
Takati, 1 and 4, clearly on tilt. This character, this player, just not playing well from behind, unfortunately for him. That's definitely something he needs, him personally needs to look at going into the next game. You can see just you can see the physical frustration, Drybear, as he tries to do what he can from a distance, but positions poorly and winds up trading his life for him. Bakasura, ultimate out again. Also to the max, I have to say, his team is not doing too well. 34,000 to 28,000 reads to gold, but awesome to the max playing this Bakasura, doing very well. And honestly, this is what we see a lot from Awesome to the Max.
Herwin stunned, Herwin plucked, Herwin forced back out the portal there. Rotation coming out from Soulshiner, but here's his entire team. Gab ultimate on top. Path of Flames out, trying to avoid the damage there. There goes ultimate from Sobek. Popped a little bit prematurely. I think he thought a bigger team fight was coming down his way. Rotation on the right side. Meerkat, Awesome to the max, are going to the max as they go into the right side tower. Herwin looking for the shotgun. There's the portal. There's the beats in response. The still hits him, and the poisons from Egypt are too much for him to deal with. Geb kind of forcing the front line here, looking for the stun, not going to find too much just yet. But, you know, back to the Bakasura, I actually think that Heavy Hammer would have meant that Arachne would have boxed more and probably won, because Arachne doesn't run from the slow. Maybe. But with the Iqbal, it means that the boxing goes to Bakasura instead of Arachne.
Interesting thought process. Great ultimate coming out from Hun. Batz is going to force Mask out of there. Serqet not able to really fight in there, despite the beads, using the beads just to get out of town. He's going to go ahead and pick up these right-hand mid-camps, no problem. But one of the things that I like about this enemy esports team is this. Again, I didn't really get to finish my statement. Also, the max generally winds up on these teams.
That's a command man to the face.
That do all right, but he overperforms, and that's what we're seeing this game in particular. Last game wasn't the story.
1 shot, 2 shot, 3 shot, not going to find it. Famous Hate trying to find his way out here. The damage from the poison will take him out. Again, the Egyptian poisons are pretty potent, as it seems. The Scorpions from the desert really bring the powwow you need. Right side, Meerkat is under pressure here. Takani and Austin the Max are pushing this one down. Look for the box on Takani. The damage coming through. There's the spiders, the jump up, the ultimate. He actually able to turn this one around. Remember, Bakasura is no longer CC immune after 1.5 seconds of the ultimate being dropped down onto the ground. A lot of safety here in this lane. This tower will fall pretty quickly, and we'll see if there's a boxing match afterwards.
Basic attacker versus basic attacker. Also, the Max going to play it safe. Just pick up the objective, grab the gold, go on home. That's pretty much exactly what this team wants to look for as they're staring down the barrel of a 6,000 gold lead gun that Cognitive Gaming is waving in their face. You want to pick up the small victories and then head on home without really trying any risk. So great play by Austin the Max, understanding that he's behind, needs to still do his job, does just that, and then runs away. That said, right-hand side of the map is very heavy by Cotton. They're going to go for a Fire Giant. Okay.
There's that knock-up there. Remember, the Fire Giant does have abilities this season, so knowing how to tank another knock-up, actually, that does quite a lot of damage. You can see that Mask is already super low. Awesome might find him. Big stack of the Muds in the ground. They're taking down another knock-up there. Takani from behind. Meerkat and Lacho, the Path of Blaze will find him. There goes the hit. The Mud is doing damage. The Fire Giant is hurting too much. The Spiders die. Takani at his last breath, but he will survive. Ron looking for this time. Can he find it? There's one shot. There's 2 shots. He gets it, and Famous Hate takes him down.
Takani with a great desperation play. Picks up 2 kills on the Fire Giant. Unfortunately, the objective does go the way of Cognitive Gaming, so they're going to be the powerful ones. Famous Hate picks up 1 before dying to the Hun Batz. with that Fire Giant buff, so that's going to be very, very difficult for them to deal with as hi-rez finds himself playing defense in the left-hand side of the map.
That's a really, really tough call to make. When you're on the Fire Giant, it's getting close. You know you're getting collapsed on, and you know that, remember in Season 2, leashing is not a thing. If you leash it away, the FG will keep the HP it has and slowly regenerate. So what happened there? Cognite Gaming got the Fire Giant, took a lot of damage from the knockups, a lot of damage from the Fire Giant mud, that magma blast coming through. They got the Fire Giant, lost a few deaths. We'll see if it turns it back around. The Gold Fury is coming down here, and then he wants it.
I was going to say, I love this play. This is what they need to do. They need to take the objectives and run when they can. But Cognite Gaming responds in hearts. And they show up just in time.
Like that.
They shove people off of the objective, and they're not going to be able to get much of anything. Great pluck by Sobek, but no teammates around. And hi-rez's just going to walk around to the other side and probably just portal out of here, no problem.
What do you got left? Diamonds?
Yeah, I haven't mentioned diamonds.
Diamonds last week. Initiation on hi-rez here. Geb Shield keeps rolling. There goes the damage. Spreading out the damage is going to be Xbalanque. One of the few things he does very well is the AoE. He's got splitting auto attacks. He's got darts across the board. AoE from the Rising Jaguar. And of course, the global ultimate that hits everyone who's alive in the enemy team. Famous Hate in his famous position, famously taking down that Gold Fury for a lot of gold. There goes the ultimate come off from Max. Cognite Gaming will secure it though. Here comes the fight. Awesome Max doing some AoE damage with that fighting. Jig's going to double stun into the Kamehameha. Dropped over. Awesome Max dropping low, but up in the air is Famous Hate. Gets the dunk. 2 more shots to go. 1 hit, 2 hit. Talking down to about 400 HP. Here comes Jig, still alive. Xbalanque wants it, takes the portal to safety. He's still alive. The zoning is there. Cognite Gaming hasn't lost a single person. The Deicide's about to drop. Will they get it without losing a single death? And
there
they will indeed. Killing spree, Deicide, and that is perfection. And we said it. Deicide, Xbox One alpha code coming at you.
Yeah, there you go. So everybody thank Cognite Gaming for providing you with another code thanks to their Deicide. And even after that fight, able to provide enough health on their health bars to go ahead and take down this tower. With those, looking at the respawn timers, not going to be able to safely get the Phoenix. So smart move by Cognite Gaming to get what they can and then get the hell out.
18 minutes on the clock, 20-7 F dot, 8,000 gold in the name of Cognite Gaming, and this is also a best of 3 that is going the way of Cognite Gaming. Remember that they are on the chopping block. Enemy eSports really needs to hit this one or they will be down for the count. Losing game 1 means that if they lose game 2, they're done for, and it's not looking too sharp. Walrus, level 11 right now, 2 levels behind Jigs, but of course doesn't have the tankiest he needs, just now finishing that sovereignty. Odysseus' bow is picked up here by Bakasura. He needs some kind of oomph behind it, right? He's got the attack speed to benefit from the true damage, but now he needs some crit to throw in there, and he'll be super scary.
Yeah, I mean, this character is similar to Freya, where he just scales off of that attack speed. You mentioned it in passing. The true damage Butcher Blades is a time-based true damage applicator to those basic attacks. So what happens is you activate Butcher Blades, and that'll give you true damage onto your attacks for a set amount of time. So you want to boost that attack speed to sneak in as many attacks in that small window as you can. So yes, Drybear, you can apply your blades directly to the forehead.
I imagine you would want to. I heard that it is best applied head-on. Talkity is holding the mid lane here, level 14 right now, very far behind. You can see level 19, level 17 hi-rez versus the level 15 Talkity, just hitting level 15 now. Experience is the enemy of enemy esports right now, and they got to find a way to take that off the list of enemies as the left side tower is falling. Actually, 3 towers still remain for enemy, and that's about it. Although 3 towers remain, the towers are even, which is that much more of a death sentence for enemies esports, considering the fact that if you're even on towers and that far behind on gold, it's not looking good.
Yeah, definitely not looking too good for enemy esports as they are down almost 10,000 gold, which is the kiss of death to most teams' morale. You see those 5 digits and you realize that your road back to victory is so incredibly long. You have to sit and sort of defend for just so incredibly long and sort of wait out that period. And that's pretty much where we are. 20 minutes in, 20 kills to 7 reads the scoreboard, as we said. Cognite Gaming leading by about 10,000 gold. The only thing enemy esports can do here is tread water. They need to wait. They need to play defense under the right objectives, which they actually did very well right there on the left-hand side of the map. They need to defend under the right objectives and wait it out until gold means nothing. That, of course, is when players are 6 slotted.
Drop ship to the Fire Giant, though.
Cognite Gaming pick up their 7th item right here.
That's going to be it. They're going to drop ship right into the Fire Giant. Janus also gets them there in time. They just are so good at getting hit by that Fire Giant knockup. So much damage there. Now they're coming in a little bit late to the party. Big game ultimate hitting 2, popping the beads on Xbalanque. There's the double knockup, the Shockwave, Flame Wave coming through as well. Famous Hate going to get the kill. Awesome to the max. The first kill is down. Jumping out, the poison's ticking. There goes the hit. Meerkat takes out Batz there. Famous Hate dropping down. A lot of damage dropped down. Mass finds the fourth kill of the match, and only one remains. The mighty and fiery Talkity, who's going to meet the Lord of Portals and Transitions, and they will surrender before Talkity can find another death this time around. Cognitive Gaming takes a explosive 2-0 against enemy eSports.
Yeah, Cognitive Gaming doing very, very, very well. Really winning both of those matches. I'll expand. They won those 2 matches because of the way they played. Enemy Esports didn't exactly make too many mistakes, Drybear. This wasn't the story where the team just sort of dropped the ball and they were able to take it, or there was a disconnect.
Sure.
They actually just played extremely well. Herwin doing what he's supposed to do all across the board. So we're gonna take one look. So last time I disagreed with the player of the game.
You did.
I did. I definitely disagreed with the player of the game. Mine was a little bit different. So before we go to it, I want to know who you would pick as player of the game.
I personally actually really liked Mask that last game. The way he played, the way he held it together. Again, you can also give it up to support play. I mean, it's really strong there. But, in our history, we've famously always gone towards some of the junglers, some of the solo laners, how they bring the team fights. But rarely do we actually go for the hunter.
I really just wanted a name. You gave me the sand meets the water, but either way, we're going to go, and this time I actually agree with our
don't you?
player of the game.
You miss it.
And it is Famous Hate. 10, 1, and 8 on that Ram. But more important than those slash lines, we're going to take a look at some of these plays. Really, I mean, in the team fights, he's very good.
Yes.
But it's when he's outside of the team fights that really shine, using that Rama ult as artillery from the backside. And here he is right here, just chasing down the stragglers, able to get those kills from a distance, or at least put the kills in his teammates' hands. That's what really excited me about Famous Hate's Ram play.
Well, he's so accurate, too. He's confident under pressure. He puts himself in
right
position
there.
and
That's
knowing
the stuff I love.
when to go up in the ultimate and when to stay down, right? 5 seconds is a long time for a hunter to not be auto-attacking. And colloquially, when we look at hunters, it's always about what spells are you able to use that stop you from hitting really, really hard late game. And he seems to have a great balance of when to go in, when not to go in, getting the kill and support, and kind of holding that team fight down. But it's also about positioning, right? I mean, there's 2 facets of position. Number 1, you want to be in position to use abilities and avoid abilities. But there's a secondary aspect of position that people don't always consider. It's the availability of vision. If you're behind a wall, even though you may be super close to the fight, people and the way their psychology works, the way their mentality works, will always, unless they're very disciplined, will go for the person they can see first, right? And that's why good Guardians are always in your face. Because it's the first thing you see, it's the first thing you attack. And it takes a lot of discipline to walk around a Warrior and Guardian and attack someone behind them, even though they're smacking you in the face. And Famous Hate is very good at knowing who to attack, where to sit, and who to shoot at.
Definitely good at picking up the targets and the right players. And you referenced support real quick before, and right now we've got support on the line. Support for Cognitive Gaming. How's it going, Jakes?
Hey.
How you doing, buddy? After that win, how you feeling?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you very, very much. So this is this, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is some of your first real top-tier professional play, right?
It is.
So what's the biggest difference that you can tell us as a newer player, sort of a rookie of the SPL League? What's the biggest difference coming from ranked play, which you're very well known in, making that transition to professional play?
Well, casuals are a joke compared to ranked, and ranked is a complete joke compared to competitive.
So you would say it's sort of the difference between casual and ranked is sort of the difference between competitive and ranked?
The reason that people are so exploited when they first come into competitive, as opposed to when they're ranked all-stars, is because these trained teams really know how to exploit every single wrong step you take.
Right.
If you go one step out of position, teams know how to pick you and then snowball an entire lead.
Well, you look at support, right? Support probably more than anyone else is all about the positioning and wrong steps, because every step you make could be gold you're losing, experience you're losing, and it's not a lot to go around for support because they have to be in so many places at once. So how did you go about learning what top tier, high level support means and how to implement it?
You still there, Jinx?
The hardest thing about playing support coming into competitive is that from when you have no items till you finish sovereignty, you are like always the #1 target in every fight. Teams will try to initiate on you, and they'll try to throw every big mage AoE ult on you.
So it's really just
the biggest thing is just trying to rotate with your team, making sure you're always committing to the team fights and never getting picked alone.
Right, so it's really tough just being the target of everything. So congratulations, congratulations on your first win. Definitely well played by you and your teammates. Is there anything that you have looking towards the next match, or anything you want to say to the people at home or at PAX?
Meerkat wants me to give him a shout out.
Don't.
And explain to you guys that he absolutely did not mean to buy Executioner on Hunvet. And it was a complete fat finger misclick.
Good, because
and he meant to buy Janus Wrath.
Okay.
I did the the caster. Well, it's an interesting choice.
Here's what could be good about it.
Yeah, no, it was just wrong. So, all right, everybody, Meerkat just isn't that bad. Thanks a lot, Jinx, for coming on, and one more time, congratulations on your win.
Thanks.
No problem. So that's going to be it for us today. Excellent stuff coming out from Jigs, the Guardian or the support player for Cognitive Gaming. So very interesting stuff. That's what we just watched. But what can we watch in the future coming up on Thursday?
That's right. Let's go ahead and look at the future of SPL. Of course, it's the first weekend now complete. March 7th and March 8th are complete. March 12th, this coming Thursday, you'll have a chance to see Melior Morior one more time up against Cognitive Gaming for North America. And for EU, you'll see Team Dignitas, and they will be facing upcoming stars in a best-of-3 matchup. So Season 2 is well underway for the Smite Pro League, and some pros have already shown themselves to be the ones we're looking at. And honestly, with so many more weeks to go, there's a lot that has to be learned. And, honestly, if you guys are wondering what these pro players do in their downtime, a lot of them stream. So check out twitch.tv/directory Smite and just see who's streaming, right? You'll see a lot of professional players playing daily. And if you want to learn what makes them so good, I recommend checking them out. Give them a little shout out. Say, hey, you did great in the tournament over the weekend, the Smoke Pro League, and really learn what makes them them.
Yeah, a lot of our professional players are streaming, so make sure you check that out. And as well, always check out Smite Game and our Twitter, twitter.com/SmitePro, and use hashtag SPL throughout the week to go ahead and do that. So thanks for joining us. Is there anything else we want to cover before we send everybody off after an excellent weekend of Smite Pro League?
Well, we should definitely say hi to all those at PAX if we're up on the screen right now. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your weekend, and please give us a little bit more excitement because we're not there at PAX right now. We can't enjoy it with you, but we're enjoying it through you. So please continue to have as much fun as you can, not only playing Smite at PAX, but enjoying the event itself, and we hope that you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. We'll be heading out for today, guys. It's been a wonderful weekend so far. On Thursday, we'll be continuing our action for the Smite Pro League, but as for us, myself, all our moderators and admins, our production staff, and of course, myself and Senior F. Dot will be signing off for today. We'll see you later.